Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to this session. Sarika ma'am, can we start the session now? Okay. Uh, so I'll be sharing my screen with all of you. So just to avoid any distraction, I'm switching off the video right now. We'll switch it on once we're done with the PPT. Is my PPT visible to all of you? Can any one of you unmute yourself and just let me know? Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yeah,
Ma'am, it's visible.
thank you so much. Thank you. Uh, so now I would request Abhineet to kindly read the quote by J.K. Rowling. Can you see that on the screen, Abhineet? Can you read it for us?
By J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
I do believe something magical can happen when you read a good J.K. Rowling.
Thank you, Abhineet. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request Anu ma'am to read the quote that talks about 1,000 lives. Anu ma'am, can you hear us? Okay, can anyone else read out the quote that talks about 1,000 lives? Any one of you can unmute yourself and just read it out for us.
Hello, Sunita ma'am.
Yes.
A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one, by George R.R. Martin.
Thank you so much, Shweta ma'am, for reading out that for us. Now I would like to ask one of you to read the quote by Zumpa Lahiri.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes.
That's the thing about books. They let you travel without moving your feet. By Jhumpa Lahiri.
Thank you so much, Amit sir. Thank you. So next, I would like to request one of you to read the quote that talks about taking one to different places, more places. So who's going to read it out? They can just unmute
May
their mic. Yes.
I? Between the pages of a book is a lovely place to be.
Thank you, Ashish sir. Thank you so much.
Ornaments.
So these are some of the quotes that are related to what? They are related to what?
Reading books.
Reading.
Yes, reading books. So now, can any of my friends guess which skill we are going to talk among the four basic skills for the English language?
Reading.
Can you guess?
Reading skill, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much. That was a correct guess. Thank you, everyone. So, good morning once again. I am your facilitator for this session, Sunita Chauhan. And along with me, my RP is there, Priyanka Sherawat ma'am. So we'll be discussing about reading skill today. So a very warm welcome to everyone and good morning once again. So let's begin the session. Okay. So we read many quotes about reading. So what reading is basically? Reading is a process of constructing meaning by interacting with text as individuals read. They use their prior knowledge along with clues from the text to construct meaning. It is not only about decoding the symbols, but to gain knowledge by understanding the text. A language rich environment is the foundation on which reading comprehension is based. And this is where we as teachers providing the strategies and skills to create effective readers in our classrooms. So this is what reading is all about, processing and constructing meaning. So we all deal with reading in our classrooms every day, almost every day when it comes to a language class. So here I would be sharing a digital tool with you that's called Padlet, and I'll be sharing the link in the chat box. Priyanka ma'am, can you share the link in the chat box? Priyanka ma'am, can you hear me?
On it, ma'am. Just a sec. We'll share it right now.
Okay. So in the link that I'll be sharing with you, you have to just tap on that particular link and you'll get a window on your wall where you're supposed to write about why reading is important, as we all deal with reading sections.
The link has been shared, ma'am.
Okay, so you just simply have to tap on this link. A window opened up before you, and you'll see a plus sign over there. You just have to tap on that plus sign and you'll be able to write your responses. Oh, that's great. I'm able to see some of the responses. Can you see my screen? Priyanka ma'am, can you see my screen where these responses are being recorded?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So some of you have already started posting your responses. Very good. By reading, we can gain. Yes, of course. To improve grammar and vocabulary. Yes. So we are waiting for more people to post their responses. One more. Reading is important as it expands the mind. Yes, Ankita, that's right. To improve grammar and vocabulary, who reads the most leads the most. Yes, very true. To gain multiple perspective, yes. We're getting wonderful responses. By reading, we can gain a lot of knowledge, and reading makes us aware about what's going on. It is rightly said that books are our real friends. Yes, indeed, they are our real friends. We get the hold what we had listened to and able to grab while reading. That's wonderful. Thank you everyone who are able to access this Padlet and register their responses on my wall. Yeah, we are getting more responses. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participation. So you have already posted your responses why reading is important. So let's just quickly have a view, look at what reading is and why reading is important. Can any of you read what you see on your screen? I request any of the participants to just unmute yourself and read it out for us.
Hello, ma'am. Reading is
Yes.
important for a wide variety of reasons. Let's look at a few. Reading enables you to function in society, and much like reading, being functional in society, develop a good self-image and leads to self-improvement. Reading develops the mind and improves your understanding. Reading exercises your brain and improves concentration. Reading relaxes the body.
Thank you, Abhineet ma'am. Thank you so much. So when we say reading enables you to function in a society, what do you mean by that? I mean, can anyone just explain this? We read the very first line, reading enables you to function in a society, and much like reading, being functional in society develops a good self-image. So as some of you have posted your responses in the Padlet wall, that reading gives you a kind of confidence, and whenever you are socializing with other people, if you are a well-read person, you are very confident, you can talk about anything, and you can just impress the other person. So it is very important, and it helps us to function in society with a self confidence. And reading develops the mind and improves your understanding. That's there. Reading exercises your brain. So whenever we are reading, we open our concentration skills, relaxes the body and calms the mind. The people, they have reading as a hobby, and whenever they get some time, they wants to relax with a good book. So it calms our mind, it relaxes our body. Reading is how you discover and are exposed to new things. Reading develops your imagination and creativity. Reading helps you grow your vocabulary and improve your spelling. Reading helps you to learn better. So can any one of you just unmute your mic and read the last line? The last line of this slide.
Finally, reading is your reading. Yes, this may sound strange, but it is true. The more you read, the better you become at it, and the more you are bound to enjoy it, and the greater the chances that you will enjoy learning more.
Yeah. Thank you, Ankita. So that's there. The more you read, the more you are bound to enjoy it. So let's move on to the next slide.
And please explain the first point again, how it enables us to function in society. Hello?
Yeah, Aditi ma'am. Yeah, I'll just go back to the slide. Yeah. To function in a society, as I've already told you, that whenever we go, what is socializing means, like having communication with other people. So whenever a person is more well informed and he has read a lot of books, so it becomes easy for him to have a kind of impression that make other people to feel like talking to him, and but we're not saying that people who are not well read, they cannot just function well in a society. But yes, if it gives you an edge, it just broadens you, aware of so many things. You are well read, you know about all the current things, so it gives you kind of confidence.
Okay,
So this particular
fine. Understood.
to convey. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. So we talked about what is reading and why it is the we need for reading. Have qualified. The very first is decoding. Decoding or sounding out words is the first step in reading. Children can decode when they understand that each letter of the alphabet has a corresponding sound. Children then learn how to look at words in print So most of the students, like as TGTs, we deal with 6 to have a. Am I audible? Hello everyone, am I audible enough?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So basically, decoding means that if a child come across a text, the child is aware of the individual sounds, m, a, t, so he is able to decode. So decoding and with the students from 6th to 10th, though till the time the student reaches the age to enter into 6th class, he is very well aware of some of the phonic sounds and he can decode some of the words. Now next basic skill that we have for reading is vocabulary. So as we all know that vocabulary is needed to read anything, and if we read more, we add on to our vocabulary. So good reader increase their vocabulary every time they read and are able to recall these words when they see them again. They begin by developing a sight word vocabulary. Now, what are sight words? Can I hear from any one of you? Arun sir, can you just tell me what are sight words? Are you aware of this?
No, ma'am. I am not aware of this.
May I, ma'am?
Okay, no issues. Can any one of yes, please.
Ma'am, sight words are basically the words that are found almost that are found almost everywhere. Like for example, that there are certain words that are used very frequently, and children are made to see those words, and so the moment they see them, they know how to speak that word, and these are sight words. I'm not able to explain it clearly, but.
No, you explained it well. Thank you, Aditi ma'am. You were right. They are the frequently used words. The words that are very common in our see it everywhere and we use it very often. They are called sight words, as you can see on the screen also. The, is, were, was, said. These are very commonly used words and they are sight words to us. We'll be dealing it within detail in the next slide. So just now I'm just reading out all the basic skills. To fluency again is the ability, and it is very much when it comes to reading, speed that lends itself to fluent readers will be able to read smoothly without having to take a lot of time to sound out words. And the next basic skill that we require for reading is comprehension. Comprehension develops as children learn to sound out words and recognize sight words. The more they read, the easier it is for them to remember specific things like main characters, setting, and plot. So we'll be moving to the next slide and we'll discuss more about it. I hope my voice is clear. You can just write your response in the chat box, or you can unmute and let me know. Yeah, thank you. So decoding, as we have already talked about, what decoding is when we, talk about phonic sounds and blended words and everything. So how can we practice these words with sight words? So pick a focus of the day, perhaps a child or student working on a few sight words. So we can always, give these to our students to touch vocabulary and pronunciation drills. If we are dealing in class, try to use material that is readily available and the things that the child is going to use in the real life. Like a newspaper is very something that is very common to every household. We easily get the newspaper, the wrappers, chips wrapper or the biscuit wrappers. So try to build that habit for the students to look out information on those things that are readily available, because sometimes the child they loses interest in their textbooks. They find it very boring and sometimes. So whenever we give them something different, they give them a sense of excitement about things with great curiosity. So we can use newspaper wrappers, and we can always do some small activities, like one day we can highlight all the sight words that Aditi ma'am has already talked about that are frequently used, but then we can just ask them to look for specific information, that word starting with a particular letter. For example, here we have a word starting with W: Wednesday, watch, welfare, etc. And we can assign them some task for the week, and when they do well, we can always appreciate their efforts. So appreciation goes a long way, and students feel happy and motivated once we appreciate their efforts. So moving on to the next slide, I have shared a newspaper here. So nowadays, as students are not physically there with us, share, as we are taking online classes and we are sharing worksheets. So as the same way, we can use PDFs of newspaper that are really available. So here you can share paper on your screen. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now can you quick cross see at
Ma'am, your voice is
any
breaking.
5 sight words? You can.
Voice is not clear, ma'am.
Am I audible now, Arun sir?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible.
So I'll repeat what I just said. You just have to look into this newspaper clip that I have shared with you, and you have to write 5 sight words that you can find out easily, that you think our child will be able to find out. Any 5 sight words. You can write that in the chat box. Okay. Meanwhile, okay, ma'am has written will, has, is. The, and, it, has, and yes. So this kind of activities can be done with students, where they they make an attempt to read a particular text, to look for things that we have asked them to do. Let's move on to the next slide. Now comes to vocabulary, as we have already discussed and you have already attended a full session on this, so I won't be dwelling much into it. So vocabulary is another foundation skill that improves our reading comprehension, and we can develop our vocabulary by playing different games, so that the child is aware. As you all see, when it comes to reading section, there is always a question related to vocabulary. So the next line is, so both are interdependent. The more reading that happens, the more enriched is the word bank of our students. So here I would like to know from all of you, do you think our student, they have a proper enough vocabulary bank to start conversation in English? We all deal with our students, and we often in our classes, okay, some were saying no, not really.
No, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Acha, who said no? Can I know their name, please? Okay, why you think that they don't have any vocabulary bank, word bank with them? Can anyone just unmute themselves and tell me why do they think that the children who are coming to our classes, they don't have any vocabulary bank with them?
Because they don't listen much.
Listen much to what?
The words in English, ma'am.
But yes, you're right that they don't live in a very language-rich environment, and they're not exposed to the language. But at the same time, we cannot say that they come without any word bank, or they don't have a vocabulary needed for English. They do have that vocabulary with them. The only thing is that vocabulary is stored in their passive bank. If we ask a child what he had, yeah. So if we ask a child in a 6th class, so you will be able to find that he can, even if he is not able to read his text, he'll be able to tell you 30 to 40 words of English that he's been using already. And this is something that is there in his active vocabulary, and there are hundreds of words that are stored there in his passive vocabulary. So why we have this active and passive vocabulary? Because the words that we use often, as you said, the sight words, they become our active vocabulary, and the words that we hear but we don't use them much, that get stored into our passive vocabulary. So
May I
we'll
speak?
quickly do an exercise. Yes, yes, yes. Who's there? I'm not able to see your name.
It's Arvind Kumar. What
Yes,
what
yes,
I
sir.
feel to say, what I feel they have a vocabulary, but that is limited. And where they struggle in sentence formation. They feel they are not putting the words in the correct order, and that's why they hesitate in speaking. What I feel so. I may be wrong, but this is my own experience.
No, sir, you're not wrong. You're right. You have voiced the correct concern. This is what our students feel, because they hesitate. They hesitate because of many reasons, as you must have already attended 2 sessions on listening and speaking.